love you, and I love how you always take care of me and Josie.
Hi, Mama. I love you. What I like about you, I like that you're really beautiful.
See?
I.
See?
No, say I love
Love
you,
you.
Mommy.
Mommy, I did, Mama.
Yeah, blow
I
kisses.
did. I love you, Bob. And what I like about you is that you're kind and funny. I love you, Mom, and I think you are very cool. I love you, Mommy. I hope you have a good day. And I love you forever and ever. And I like your hair color. And I like the earrings that you got. The earrings, like the earrings that you wear.
Hi, welcome to the LaRia Speak Show. Today's segment is Girl Talk. So I got a special guest coming, and we're going to have a conversation about motherhood. So tune in, tell your mother come watch with you, have a little girls' night, y'all chill, do your thing. But we'll talk about motherhood, so stick with us. Welcome back to the LaRia Speak Show. Today I have a guest, my girl Tanea, one of my mentees and now colleague. And y'all know I love this girl, but we're here to talk to y'all today about motherhood. So you can introduce yourself and just, tell them about who you are, like your mother profile.
Okay, so this is my mommy profile. First of all, y'all not allowed to call me Tanea, just stick Tanea. Again, I'm gonna say that one more time, just stick Tanea. I've been a mom for 2 years. I have a 2-year-old daughter who I adore and love so much. I think motherhood is an amazing experience, and if every woman is able to experience that, I feel like you guys should take that journey.
Yeah. And her daughter is so awesome. I think I was her first word. Wasn't I her first word? I don't know. But I'm her favorite word. Everybody be like, who is Ria? I'd be like, me. She loves me. That's my girl. No, but for those of you that don't know, I'm a mother as well. I have a 14-year-old son. And, I'm just excited because he about to be grown, y'all. He been grown. Any of y'all that know me know this boy he was doing a lot of stuff early, okay? Making his own meals at like 7, 8. Shout out to my moms. Rest in peace, Tracy Gray, my mother. But he been grown, but he about to be grown. And it's been an interesting journey, but that's why we here. We're going to talk about it a little bit.
Side note, Madi is an inventor, just so y'all know. Future show coming soon.
Yes, Madi's an inventor. But yeah, shameless plug. So let's just talk about motherhood. I guess we'll start with defining what is being a mother to you. First, do you prefer mother, mom, mommy? What's your preference?
I like mommy. I like mommy. Because I have a 2-year-old, I like how she lights up when she says mommy, and she always comes to give me hugs and kisses, so I like that stage.
Yeah.
Mom makes me feel like, I'm still very young, as y'all can see. So mommy it is.
Well, I used to love mommy, but my baby grew out of it. He used to call me mommy, and I'm finna get on. Yes, my brother Samaj. Gonna tell him, I think he was like 9 or 10 or something. And he came in the house and was like, mommy, and leaned on me about something. And my brother's like, boy, if you don't get up, don't be saying no mommy. I'm like, leave him alone. I can be his mommy. So after that, he literally gradually stopped calling me mommy. And I'd be like, why is my brothers ruining my life as an adult? They did a good job in childhood, but I was called mommy until 11, 12, but now he just be like, Mom. Like,
with no excitement.
Mom. Like, what?
I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, but girls are a little different. I don't know. I used to call my mom mama, or I tell my brother, like, tell your mama.
Right. Okay, so with my mom, I don't call her mom. I say ma. So yeah. I guess everybody has their own unique of calling their mom.
Yeah. So, okay, well, I prefer either. It doesn't matter. Mommy was my favorite. I kind of missed that stage, but I settle for Ma now. Like, whatever. Who cares? Just be Ma. Can I be mother, mom, mama, just Ma? Okay. Okay, so let's start with the beginning. Like, what was pregnancy like for you? Well, first, when you found out you were pregnant, what was that like? Because I'm going to tell my story.
Okay, so first of all, I did not, to be honest, I never thought I could get pregnant. I thought I was dodging bullets.
Me
Like,
too. I thought I was invincible.
I thought I was out here, like, oh, you can't touch this. So when I did get pregnant, I was just shocked. I was like, what happened was one day I ended up eating chili. And so after I ate chili, I felt like I was about to throw up. And I was like, that's kind of unique. I was like, maybe the chili nasty. So then I ended up having a dream. And then after that dream, I was like, oh, okay. So then I ended up talking to you about it. And he was like, girl, you might be pregnant. I was like, what? I'm not going to be pregnant. What is she talking about? So even though I felt some type of way and was delusional, I still listened to you and I took a pregnancy test. And so I've never taken a pregnancy test before. So when reading it, I was like, wait, it has 2 lines, but one is faded, so this can't be right. So then I was like, let me just take another one. Same result. I was like, you know what? I need the digital one because this is just way too complicated. So I went to get another pregnancy digital test, and it said pregnant, and I was like, oh my. And then I still didn't believe it, and I was like, you know what? I need to go to the doctor because
it's just not
this
good
could
enough.
be expired.
But Tanea, you do that with everything. I'm not even going.
But I just wanted to make sure that this thing was real, and it was real. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. So in the beginning, like, I was extremely nervous. It was like very, very overwhelming because my world was about to change, and I don't think I was really prepared for that. Nobody really is, but for me, that was life-changing.
Yes. So similar experience, and I cried because, like I said, I thought I was invincible. I thought I wasn't gonna get pregnant. Like, me pregnant? I am the rich auntie. It was never happening in my book. But when it did happen, I cried that day. I was a little stressed out. But I'm gonna skip to this more recently. One of my friends, this was like a year ago. She was like, I'm pregnant, and was so excited about it. And I'm sitting here like literally in my self-aware self 14 years later, like, why am I traumatized by her telling me she's pregnant? Like, this is her 3rd child, and, you know, she's married, but I was literally traumatized for her, and, like, I saw she was super happy, and I'm like, okay, let me just roll with her, because I was about to be like, oh my gosh, no, but she was just so happy that I had to shift it. And literally, I don't think I ever talked about this, but y'all finna get it. But the rest of that day, I pondered, like, why was that so traumatizing to me? But God took me back to, you know, growing up, how your mama instilling you, don't get pregnant, don't this. And they make a real big deal out of getting pregnant, especially not being married. And I don't think it registered to me, like, don't get pregnant and not being married. It was just like, don't get pregnant. So pregnancy subconsciously became a traumatizing thing. And I was just like, whoa, God, I gotta heal from this. And it was just a lot. And then, you know, I always looked at, before that experience, a year or two ago, I don't remember what it was. But
I can completely understand that, because I was raised by my dad, and he will often say, like, you don't want to have a whole bunch of kids, don't have a whole bunch of kids. But marriage was never a thing. It was never talked about. And also in my family, I remember my aunt telling me when I was like 12 years old, like, women in this family do not do abortions. So if you get pregnant, just know that you're going to be responsible for that child. And all my cousins, again, would tell us, don't have kids. So if it's embedded in you at a young age, don't have kids, when you have a child that you unexpectedly have, it can be scary, because in the back of your mind, you hear all these voices say, don't have a kid, but they don't tell you why. The truth is, having a child is a beautiful thing when you are married, or you are engaged and about to be married, because you have a partner that you're able to share the responsibilities with. But if you are a single mom and you're taking care of a child, that's when it gets complicated. And I viewed all the people within my family, and most of those women were in broken marriages or single when they had their child. So they're bringing their own perceptions on what they think being a mother is, or what it means to be pregnant on me.
Yes, and I think that's big. Like, we don't talk enough about how hard it is to raise a child on your own. It's just always been this be a strong black woman thing, or pushing us to just do it all, to the point where we're overworked, just exhausted, period, and have no time for ourselves. And most people have kids young, so you literally have no time to yourself. I was thinking back, and people were, heavy on me about giving somebody a sibling. I'm like, well, he got kids on his dad's side, and I got nieces and nephews that's like my kids, and I mentor a lot of kids who I'm their mama. So he's not missing out on the fellowship, as the Saints call it. He's not missing out, and I had to evaluate like why I was just so ready to just be an empty nester, because I've never done that as an adult. I got pregnant when I was 19, and I had him like 3 months before I turned 20. So I literally never had a full adult experience. Them 10 years where I was trying to be grown, they don't really count. I mean, they was lit, but I still had a curfew. But I've never had an adult experience without being a mom. And not that it's a bad thing. I completely love my son. Like I said, he's always been very independent. So it didn't hinder me a lot. But just being by yourself, like, I've never had that as an adult. And adults that have had it, cherish it. Like, cherish it. Take advantage. Use it. You did it?
I did.
Oh, you did? Yes.
I cherished it. Like,
yeah.
Because I got pregnant at 26.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, oh, that's your late 20s. You still had time. And I did experience all of that.
Yeah.
So I do cherish that time, and I did appreciate that time. And now I feel like I've evolved into a different woman, and I learned to love myself differently.
Yes.
Because the old life I used to live, I'm not that person no more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like that time alone you have yourself is essential. Not that your kids get in the way of it, but it's essential. It's like one of the milestones you need to have. You need to have just like a single adult period in your life where you have no responsibilities but your own. Because if I had that right now, I'd probably go back to my parents' house and just use my money on travel. I'm gonna be dead honest. I would just do it. But let's get into pregnancy. So we talked about when you found out you was pregnant. What was that experience being pregnant? Like, what was that like on your body, your everyday life?
Okay. First of all, being pregnant was the scariest thing for me, because I had so many different questions, and I feel like everybody has their own experience when they're pregnant. Mm-hmm. So I was just getting like basic information, making sure that I drink like 8 bottles of water a day, making sure I'm eating all my food, things like that. Making sure I'm like off my feet, and learning how to channel my emotions, because that can be stressful on the baby. So that was difficult. And when I was 6 months pregnant, my ex, which is her father, told me that he cheated throughout the whole relationship. So at that point, being pregnant became really stressful for me, because now I have a child with this man that has not been faithful this whole time. And he waited to tell me when we moved out of state together. Mm-hmm. Like, we decided that we're going to move out of state together, start a family, and then as soon as we get there, he breaks all this news to me, which put me in a situation where I had to learn how to box my emotions so that it wouldn't affect my baby.
Yeah, and that's extremely tough.
Yes, it was. But during that process, even though that was a lot, mm-hmm. And even during the pregnancy, I got cheated on during the pregnancy. So I would do morning affirmations. I would read my baby Bible verses. I would speak life into myself, because I wanted her to have so much joy. I prayed daily that she would have joy and she wouldn't feel the pain that I felt. And I can see that today, because my baby has so much joy.
She's so happy.
And I just give all the glory to God, because I see him like working in her, and she didn't know what I experienced or know the pain that her father put me through.
Yeah, and that's deep. I think many women can relate to that, like going through that pain. I didn't necessarily have a cheating scandal, but once we were young, so it was like a whole lot going on family-wise. But we moved together, and it would be times, I remember this one time, I didn't see him for 2 weeks. Like, what? You put all this once we moved together? Like, what are you thinking? Right. And that, it played a toll on me emotionally, but, I'm Tracy's daughter, y'all. Soon as that, that 2-week mark hit, the relationship was over. I was just waiting for the pregnancy to be done. I was off it. I was just like, my exit strategy was in place, okay? I'm going to tell you a little bit about how Tracy raised me later. That'll make sense to you. But I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I'm LBZ. No. But I was just off it, and I think like the type of friends I had at the time, they were like, you know, pick yourself up, let's go. And immediately after my 6 weeks, you know, and they surrounded me. His absence was not a big thing. I think like teenage heartbreak type stuff, but physically I had so many friends around me and family around me that really occupied that time. So there was really no time to really be emotional. I feel like I was emotional after I had the baby, because it was like up and down and us trying to make it work. And that probably played a little bit of a toll on my son then. But during pregnancy, I feel like I was just like, you know, rolled over it. And I was very young too, so I don't think I had a consciousness of what really was going on versus being a 26-year-old woman. I was just like, this one, next 15.
And I had great friends surrounding me too, but the truth is, I wanted the idea of having a 2-parent household. So for me, I felt like I was willing to put up anything to fulfill that dream that I had since a little girl. And so it cost me losing myself by trying to fulfill a dream that he didn't want. Yeah. So now, shout out to your mama, because I have you. I know my worth, and therefore, never again. For the people in the back,
know
never
your
again.
worth. Know your worth, sis. No.
Know your worth.
But you really have to. And I think sometimes, you know, people make mistakes, and I'm not saying throw anybody away for their mistakes. I'm a strong believer in praying and supporting people. But you know the difference between this continuous behavior and somebody that wants to do better. You'll see efforts, you'll see behavior. So, yeah. But literally, like, back to what you said about I was terrified. So when I was pregnant, I was probably the most dramatic person. But, well, first I broke all the rules. I drank coffee, I relaxed my hair. You know, I wasn't that woke back then. I don't got to relax no more. I did all the rules that they tell you not to do. I was like, I'm drinking this coffee, and I'm doing all of that. They tell you don't eat sushi. Y'all know I love sushi. I ate sushi. And my son a pescatarian now. Probably has something to do with it. But I broke all the pregnancy rules. But outside of that, girl, I thought I was going to die. Like, it was a meme on social media that was talking about, I just don't want to have a baby. I'm scared of it. It could just live here forever. Literally, that was me. When it came time for me to go into labor, I was like, no, I'm not doing this. Cancel it. They were like, the baby's coming. No, cancel it. I'm scared. Like, I'm like, really, a whole body is about to come out of me?
Yes.
I thought I was going to die. I was like, no, this is not it. How do women do this? Y'all are crazy for doing this. And not understanding that every person was born, but I just thought it was impossible.
Our strength is impeccable. That's what y'all need to know.
Yes.
Because days before she was born, I was doing all the exercises. I was up on YouTube, like, she got to come out of me. I can't deal with this. I don't like being hot. I don't like sweating. I got this big belly. I can't see I got a double chin. I'm fat. I just can't deal with this anymore.
Wait, were you pregnant in the summer? No, it was spring.
Summer.
Well, I was pregnant the whole summer. His birthday August. Go ahead.
I was pregnant in the summer. I was hot. It was just, I ended up getting acne and all of these different things because when you have a baby, it brings out certain stuff in your body, certain chemicals. So I was just like, and then I was going, like I said, I was going to YouTube doing exercises, and then she was actually born on her due date. And contractions is the worst thing.
The worst.
Ever. It feels like a bus, a knife, a gun.
The worst.
Is like you're getting stabbed multiple times. And people say you never forget that pain, but baby, I always remember that pain, and that's why I'm only having one.
Listen, I think when my mentor was pregnant, I was her assistant at the time, and seeing her go through her pregnancy, it was like, oh yeah, that's what that is. I forgot, because our pregnancies were almost identical. The vomiting, the sick, like I really, outside of the scariness of giving birth, I really thought I was gonna die from being sick. And then anybody that know me right, y'all know I was the noodle queen. Any type of pasta, I could not eat pasta my whole pregnancy.
Oh, wow.
I said, oh, we
And I
ain't
love pasta.
doing this no more. I could not eat pasta. And
I
that's
hated
all that boy
pizza.
eat
I hated
now is
pizza.
pasta.
I love cheese. I would eat any type of cheese. Like, I would literally in the middle of the night go get a slice of cheese. Like, I love cheese. Now I'm like, don't put too much cheese on anything.
I could not. The pasta was enough for me to say motherhood is done. No, I'm just saying. No, but yeah, it's beautiful in the end, but to be realistic, your body does go through a lot, your mind, your emotions, your eating habits. You go through a lot of changes being pregnant. And I think that even after you give birth, you evolve again. So what was that like? Like after giving birth, having an infant, being home, after you just went through what you went through in your pregnancy, what was life?
Okay, so I went through a depression, really bad depression after giving birth because I had to morph into this person. I had to snap back so quickly because the person I was with wasn't really responsible. And so it was like I was taking care of two people and evolving into this woman. As I started to do like daily devotions and build a closer relationship with God, I was able to find my strength more so. So after that, it became easier. One thing I struggled with asking for help. During my single life, I really didn't have to ask people for help. I'm a go-getting, ambitious person. But they say it takes a village to raise a child, and it does. So I had to call my friends. I had to reach out to my mom, my dad for support because I couldn't do it myself. And once I reached out to my support system, and I have a very strong support system, I'm back. But the new version of myself is way better than the old version. Like, I am really, really driven. I'm chasing my dreams. And then I have like a little girl that looks up to me. So it makes me more aware of the decisions I make and how I present myself. Because I want to let her know that she is capable of doing any and everything that she wants to do in life. And she doesn't have to really want for nothing.
Yes, that is true. So first I'm going to talk about the snapback, okay? You under a lot of pressure. Your body got to snap back. Emotions got to snap back. All of that got to snap back. And people don't realize, like, literally, a huge chunk of you just left. One, a body that you're used to living with, and I guess the energy it takes to birth a child, it really changes you, and you're super depleted after you give birth mentally, emotionally. So it's important to have people around you that is going to restore you. So afterwards, you've only been a mother 2 years, so we ain't got that far to go. What was life like being a mom versus when you were just single in your own lane? What new things did you have to put in place to adjust to mommy?
Friendships. Most of my friends did not have kids. So now I have to schedule in and pencil in events. I did lose some friendships along the way as I started to get closer to God, and I became a mom because they didn't understand the new version of myself, and that was difficult. Most of the time before, I used to spend all my time in bars, partying and things like that. I would blow all my money. Now I do like money management of my finances, and I choose selective environments to go in because I know that if I go in certain environments, it's going to bring me back, and I'm at a new version. I also gained a stronger body because I did a natural birth, so I didn't even know that I was capable of doing that.
She is the goat.
So when
I would have had 2 epidurals.
Yes, when I say, and the snapback, like you said, the snapback is real. Now I can't eat a whole bunch of pizzas and cheeseburgers like I did before. Now I gotta like work out a little bit more.
Yes. So it's okay to change. Change is good. You got a new life with you. You got a new expectation, and people around you may not have those same expectations and standards, and it's okay to shift. And I just want to encourage the moms out there to embrace newness. Like being a mom, yes, you go through a lot of struggles internally, mentally, emotionally, and outwardly. But don't take on challenges you don't have to. Allow change to take place wherever it's necessary for it to take place. So, yeah, we probably going to be back with a mommy part 2 because I feel like talking about more so parenting than mommy, and it's good just how we navigate parenting. But to close out, Tanea, just tell the world, what do you want to speak to mothers? What do you have to say to them to just inspire them, to uplift them? What do you want them to take away from this? Just give them something.
Okay. Know your worth. Know your worth, and you are enough. Nobody in life is perfect, And everybody has their own unique way of being a mom. And you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to know everything. And just as you are growing and figuring new things out, they are too. So just embrace them and don't be afraid to apologize when you do something wrong. And remember to encourage and let them know when they're doing something right. And it's okay to cry. You're going to have your days, but also know your worth. And don't be putting up with no mess if you don't have to.
Not even with your kids. Discipline them. Don't put up with their mess. But I'm going to plug y'all in real quick. I do have a podcast that is just for parents. Check us out on all podcast platforms, Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts. But it is The Parent Trap. And I think it's the Parent Trap podcast, but just search The Parent Trap. You might find it. But I give a lot of different nuggets about being a parent, some of my journeys, some of my strategies on how I raised my son with submitting to God. And you know, I got a 14-year-old boy who is quite the gifted child, and I'm not just saying that because I'm his mama. He really is. He's very different from any teenager, and I love that about him. But go ahead and tune into that podcast for more parenting advice, and we'll probably be back with a part 2. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Continue to watch us. Continue to follow us. You can find me on all social media sites at LaRia Speaks. And I just want to encourage you to speak better so you can live better. Have a good day.